All right, let's talk about fear, but probably not in the way you're used to thinking about it, right? We're always told to fight it, to just push it down. But what if the whole goal isn't to be fearless? What if fear is actually a tool, a guide that's pointing us exactly where we need to go? I mean, think about it. From the moment we're kids, the story is super simple: be fearless, be brave. We learn that anxiety is the enemy, right? Something you have to suppress or just ignore. Our whole culture celebrates the person who seems totally unshaken. But honestly, that entire picture is built on a huge misunderstanding. So, what if we've gotten it all wrong? Seriously, what if fear isn't this big obstacle in our way, but instead it's more like a highly sophisticated compass pointing you exactly where you need to go next? Okay, first things first, let's talk about fears. Let's call it a public relations problem. We're basically conditioned from day one to see it as the enemy. And this perspective, it's actually really harmful because it forces us to ignore some of the most valuable information our own mind is trying to give us. You see, most of our modern fears, they aren't about a tiger hiding in the grass anymore. They're about our social and internal worlds. We're scared of being judged, of losing status, of our identity being challenged, or just, looking incompetent. And these things, they feel just as real as physical danger, but they're sending a completely different kind of message. And that brings us to the real core idea here. It is time to completely reframe fear. We've got to stop seeing it as this giant, flashing red stop sign and start seeing it for what it is: a compass. You know, a needle that quivers and points us towards something really, really important. So here's the new definition I want you to try on. Fear is just information. That's it. It's a signal pointing directly to an area where you have a huge opportunity to grow. It's not screaming danger at you. It's more like it's whispering, hey, pay attention right here. This quote just nails it perfectly. Fear does not point to danger alone. It points to direction. So it's not just a warning system, right? It's actually a guidance system for your own development. It's pointing you toward the very edge of what you're capable of. Okay, so if fear is a signal, then what in the world is it telling us? Let's try to decode what our anxiety is actually trying to communicate. Now, this is a really crucial insight. You do not fear things that are irrelevant to you. Think about it. A person who couldn't care less about leadership won't fear public speaking. Someone with zero ambition doesn't fear stagnation. Your fears always cluster around your deepest values. They literally map out what truly matters to you. But we have to make a really important distinction here. There's survival fear, right? The kind that protects your life and your absolute core values. That stuff deserves your respect. But then there's growth fear, and that's totally different. It protects your comfort zone, your ego. That's the fear that deserves a little confrontation. So when it comes down to it, this growth fear is really just asking you one vital question: where am I not yet equipped? Your anxiety is just highlighting a gap, that's all. A gap between the skills you have now and a situation you know, deep down, is important. It's not some final verdict on your ability, it's just a prompt for you to develop. So what happens if we just ignore the compass? Well, let's talk about the high cost of comfort. Because staying put, that is not a neutral choice. Believe me, the consequences are pretty severe. Your skills stagnate while you're stuck watching others take action. Your anxiety actually inflates because avoided fears always grow larger in your imagination. Your world literally shrinks, and you start to accumulate this heavy burden of regret. Fear that's ignored doesn't just vanish, it metastasizes. Okay, so how do we actually use this compass? Let's get practical. This next part is all about a framework for navigating by fear instead of running from it. The very first step is to get technical. I want you to ask yourself this one simple question. By doing this, you transform a vague, kind of emotional problem into a really concrete skill gap analysis. Suddenly, fear of leading a team becomes a decision-making skill gap. Fear of investing becomes a financial literacy gap. See, it turns a heavy burden into a clear roadmap.
And here it is, the full navigation framework. It's pretty straightforward. Step 1, just notice the fear. Don't run, just notice it. 2, name what's truly at stake. Get specific. 3, decode what your ego is trying to protect. 4, start to develop the skill that the fear is highlighting. 5, engage. Take small, deliberate actions toward it. And finally, number 6, integrate the experience. Update your own identity with the new evidence that you can, in fact, handle this.
You know, this whole approach leads to a completely new definition of courage. It's not about being fearless, not at all. True courage is, well, it's something else entirely. Courage is simply this: the ability to act while fear is present. That's it. That's the whole game. The people who achieve incredible things, they aren't any less afraid than you or me. They've just learned how to use their fear as guidance. Fear pipes up and says, hey, this matters. And courage just replies, okay, then I will act anyway.
And this right here really gets to the heart of it all. Growth always lives just beyond the edge of comfort, and fear is how you find it. It's the signpost. It's the breadcrumb trail.
So let's bring it back to you. Take a second. Seriously. Think about what genuinely scares you right now. Maybe it's an opportunity, a tough conversation, a big project. Whatever it is, that list, that is not a list of things to avoid. That right there is your personalized map for growth. So the only question left to ask is, what is your compass pointing to?